Welcome to Cues and Views, first on the web for collecting English billiard cues. A friend of mine said to me, I've come across a George Nelson cue from Leeds. So we were talking over the telephone, so I got him to describe the length, the tip size, whether it was hand spliced or machine spliced. A lot of George Nelson cues with the round disc badge appear in machine splice form, not quite as many in hand splice form. He told me that it was a round disc badge version. We discussed what hand splice was, what machine spliced was. He said, I think it's hand spliced. I said, does it have a square peg in the end? Now this is the fat end. This often denotes that a cue has never been re-drilled, re-weighted in any way since it was new. He said, yes, it had. Square peg. I said to him, well, this was at the time, this is a while ago, if it's as good as you seem to be saying it is, I'll give you £120 for it. He said, ooh, that sounds good. Knowing that he'd brought it from a car boot sale, I imagine he paid £5 or £10 or £15 or £20. For me, that wasn't important. What was important was what I appraised its true value. Well, I drove to Derbyshire, where he lives, and he pulled the cue out with a metal tube. It was, if anything, better than he had described. It was absolutely mint. I said, would £120 be okay? He said yes. I have to tell you, there is no dirt in the weight stamp. Many old cues have a weight stamp on the shaft which tells you the weight that they were originally made. This is another way of telling whether a cue has been tampered with or not in some way, re-weighted. Obviously, if it says it's 17 ounces and you you measure it, you weigh it, and it's 20 ounces or something, it's been re-weighted, therefore it's altered, it's not original. That cue, it has to be, from a collecting point of view, reduced in value. However, as a player, you may want a 20-ounce cue and you may have been seeking one for years. For you, that might be worth £200. That's up to you. What you pay for a cue as a player is another matter entirely. And I don't claim to be an expert in what people will pay for playable cues. I've heard some stories. People paying quite significant sums because it's the best cue they've ever played with. That's between you and the person selling the cue. Nothing to do with me at all. Now then, I bought that cue, I still have that cue, it's in exactly the same condition.